Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Paige, this is Seeking Alexandria, and today, you guys, I am super intrigued by these products. Okay, so I saw them on the Ulta website when they first released. Granted, it was like a couple weeks ago, okay, but I bought them and I haven't tried them out yet, and I thought, is this the kind of thing I want to do on camera? Yes, it is. And I made sure to pick a day where, do I look like actual death under my eyes? I sure do. Do I look tired and creasy and cakey and weird and probably puffy? Why, yes, I do. Then, girl, we have a thought for you. Becca released what they are calling, I think it's like a 3-part system, where they released an anti-fatigue under eye primer that goes here, and then a concealer, and then a setting powder specifically formulated for under the eye. Now, what you're seeing that is missing from this little trio is the concealer. They only released like 4 shades, and not a one of them is light enough for me. The lightest one was darker than my skin tone. So, I went ahead and picked these up. I figure we're just going to have to use it with the Tarte Shape Tape, and I know I'm not the only person that doesn't fit into their 4-color spectrum. So we are just going to use these and my normal Shape Tape and kind of do our thing. Now, I kind of went about this. It's going to be a really weird like video in and out because obviously I'm going to prime and then foundation and then, you know, so the camera's going to be on and off a little bit, but let's just kind of talk about these products as we go. As of right now, there's nothing on my face because I figure if I'm going to prime the rest of my face, that's when I would prime my under eye. And obviously I wanted to do that on camera. So let's talk first about the anti-fatigue under eye primer. This is, excuse me, I feel like I'm choking. This is $32, which is holy bejesus expensive. You get 0.13 ounces, which let me just, you know, here. Let me like give you a good visual representation of what you're getting for $32. Here we go, and that's it. Here you go, like there's no mirror, it's just a little glass plastic, or I'm sorry, a little clear plastic case, but that's what you're getting for 32 bucks, that amount of product, okay? So we're not setting the world on fire, Becca. I mean, I'm sure a little goes a long way, but just so you guys know, I'm already kind of like, I'm sorry, $32? Whew, girl. Okay, so this is what it says in the description. It is a wake-up call for tired eyes. Thank God mine look atrocious. It's a cooling anti-fatigue eye balm and primer in one that preps the skin for smooth makeup application. Coverage can only go so far. This priming balm instantly smooths and blurs fine lines while reducing puffiness over time. Infused with cucumber, matcha green tea, and caffeine, the sheer and velvety texture effortlessly melts into the skin to smooth and condition the eye area. Perfectly preps for corrector and concealer application so makeup never creases or looks cakey. See the 3 steps to achieve hashtag Becca Bright Eyes. However, we can't do that because we have to have Becca/Shape Tape Bright Eyes. Basically, you just apply this before corrector, concealer, and powder, obviously. So I thought, let's go ahead and do that real quick. Plus, what I like about putting this on at this step in the game is that it gives it time to really soak in, and we're going to see if it depuffs versus like putting it on and going, did it do anything? Did it do anything? This sucks. You know, this will actually give it a little while to really soak in. So I'm just going to kind of swirl my finger around. Not a ton like picks up, so I don't know. Okay. Let's just kind of keep swirling. I feel like I'm not, there we go. I finally got a little bit on the edge of my finger, and we're just gonna, and again, you don't ever want to tug on your eye if you can help it. How does this have no smell? Like, I fully anticipated for this to smell like something. I don't know. It does feel kind of greasy, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so I've applied it to this eye and not to this eye. So far, no difference, but that's all right. Let's go ahead and do the other side. There's that almost choke again. I will say that it feels very nice and smooth on the skin. All right, so that is now on both sides. So far, I'm not noticing anything, but what I will say is that when you swirl your finger in this, like it literally hardly anything, like it doesn't pick up a ton of product. So this, I would be inclined to believe that this will last you a little while, but I'm also not gonna sit over here and claim that like, I don't know, I'm not gonna claim that this is like $32 worth of product. In my opinion, I think that that's really pricey. But hey, you know, if it works, I'm not gonna lie, I would give anything for stuff to work sometimes. Now, I did do a bunch of research actually this morning. I was sitting and I was reading about this product, or well, both of these products, and I was just kind of looking at the ingredient aspect just to kind of see what we're getting ourselves into. And As far as this one, the only ingredients that really stood out to me, there is dimethicone in this guy, and obviously it said caffeine already, and I believe those were the only two that really stood out to me. Oh, and silica. So basically, and I'll get into this more in a second, but just keep that in mind that this does have dimethicone and silica as well as caffeine. So, and it's like cucumber and stuff like that, which is meant to kind of, you know, give that to the eye, and it's going to help keep the hydration in and all that. So we will talk more about those ingredients, but I just want to mention it now. I am going to prime and prep the rest of my face, put on my foundation, and I'm going to leave, you know, as this area as open as possible, just to allow us to really kind of finish out this experiment for the Shape Tape. So hold on just a second. Let me go ahead and apply the rest, and which I'm going to do off of camera, because that's how I want to do it. And I will be right back. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Cost? No? Okay, no, we're good. I'll be right back. All right, so I went ahead. Boy, do I look so cute right now. I did go ahead and I put on a mixture of different foundations. Today I tried mixing the Physicians Formula with the Dior Forever Skin, or yeah, Dior Forever. I like them individually, so I'm kind of hoping that this one's really dark, this one's close to my color, and then I tried to mix them and it's still too dark. So what are you gonna do? But that's what's on my face right now. So I'm ready for some Shape Tape action. Let's go ahead, and this is in the shade Fair. I believe this is the lightest shade that Shape Tape makes. So let's go ahead and we're just gonna dot it underneath. And just real quick to like look at one side versus the other, I do see a little bit of a decrease in like discoloration, but I'm not seeing a huge difference in like puffiness or anything like that. Maybe it's something that happens like over time. It's been on my eyes or under eyes at this point for probably like 15-ish minutes. Yeah, about 15 to 20 minutes. So by now I definitely should have seen a little some kind of depuff, but you know, who's to say? Maybe by the end of this I'll be like, oh, look it, yay. So that is one side buffed out, and obviously the other side has not been touched yet. It actually looks really good and hydrated under the eye. And what I do notice is that it's not instantly creasing. One of the things that I can't stand about concealer is that when I conceal my under eye, literally, if I am not patting it out, it is creased. And that is something that happens with all concealers, and it's just because I have really bad bags under my eyes. And don't get me wrong, it is creasing a little bit, but it is not creasing as bad as I'm used to, so that's a plus. Let's go ahead and finish this up. Okay, and just as an FYI, you guys, on the corners of both of my eyes for like the umpteenth day in a row, I have a lot of like my eyes are just leaking and crying a ton, so I don't know what the deal is there, but my eyes do this every once in a while. Suffice to say, it ruins every makeup look I've ever come up with. But if you see anything like weird or red on the very outside corners, I have like chronic watering eyes half the time. It's just life. So anyways, let's go ahead and let's talk about some setting powder now, because this is the third step in their little trio that they came out with, and this is their under eye brightening setting powder. And this is $25, and you get this much, so instantly I'm just like, holy bejesus. It is 0.09 ounces. Wow. Okay, let's go ahead and pull this up here. It is the Under Eye Brightening Setting Powder. I said that already. It says it is weightless and invisible. It is a weightless and invisible powder that instantly brightens and sets under eye makeup for lasting wear. Infused with light reflecting pearl powders, it instantly blurs the appearance of fine lines without settling. So the only thing that I'm going to say is that as of right now, I'm the type of person that I have to use like a damp beauty blender to apply my under eye anything. Like if it's under eye concealer, if it's under eye powder, it doesn't matter. It has to go on with a damp blender first, otherwise it doesn't stick correctly for me. So what we're going to do here, so we're just going to, oh wait, we got to take the sticky off. My bad, my bad. And you get like a half and half twist sifter, so you can kind of spin it and lock it up. If you don't want any to come out, you can then spin it and open it back up, which is kind of nice. So anyways, half and half. Let's go ahead and dump some into the cap here. So my only issue is that you're not going to be able to use this like a traditional one, because I feel like you only get this much for $25, and how much of it is gonna stick. So I don't know how I feel about this already, but anyways, that is what you get. It looks very much like a really light fluffy vanilla cake mix. I just dumped some out. Ooh, that is soft. Look at that. Ooh, ooh. Oh, that's very soft. Okay. It reminds me of a similar texture of the, oh gosh, what was that called? The Urban Decay powder that came out. The Velvetizer. It reminds me a lot of the Urban Decay Velvetizer. All right, now let's go ahead, and I do want to try one side with a Beauty Blender. I don't honestly think I'm going to want to go this route just because, again, I think it'll waste a ton of product. Let's go ahead and beat out, because we are creasing in the under eye, but again, that's not abnormal for me. So we're just going to tap that out real quick. We're going to tap into a little bit of this powder here, and we're just going to tap it on lightly. So now that I went in and I put a tiny, tiny, thin little layer, I am going to go in with a brush and just tap on a little bit more. So one side is set, one side is not. And I have to be honest, I mean, up close, it doesn't look too different. I still look very wrinkly and creasy through here. That's not uncommon for me though. But as of like right now, I can't say that it looks any different at all. I just like had the mirror directly in front of my face that whole time. So let's go ahead and let's do the other side. So just the two under eye areas are set, and as of right now, you guys, I am not very impressed at all. I feel like it didn't do much in the realm of like smoothing out or anything. Like as of right now, I don't see much of a difference. And again, you guys have seen me do this step 1,000 times, and unless, I mean, it does look brighter in this area, but I also haven't set the rest of my face yet. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to pop off of camera, I'm going to finish up my face real quick, and then we're going to come back on. I'm going to go over a little bit of the ingredients with you guys. I want to go over just, you know, overall how it set down and all that, and kind of talk about my little research findings, if you will. So hang tight for a little second. Let me put the lid back on this, and I will talk to you guys here in just a little tiny second. Well, tiny second for you, a million years for me. All right, you guys, I went ahead. I finished up the rest of my face. You can tell me, what do we think about this hair? I mean, is it good? Other people do it, and I'm always like, oh, that's so cute. And then I do it and I feel like a mix between like a Grecian goddess, Medusa, like some big tall looking building. I don't know. Anyways, I want to talk to you guys for a little second here just about these products, and we'll get to how what I think and my final verdict and all that in a second. But I want to talk about the ingredients. Now, they both share a couple of ingredients that I thought were really interesting. They both share dimethicone as well as silica. Now, those are actually very they're very widely used products. They're in probably most everything on my vanity, or a ton of it, which is good to know. Just, it's not like, oh, big scary words, we better run away. Side note, big scary words doesn't mean, like, that doesn't, big words and chemicals don't always equal bad. Like, your body is comprised of those kinds of things. So it's not like, oh, there's dimethicone. It's nothing like that. Dimethicone is actually a lot of times used as a way to keep hydration in. It almost creates like a faux barrier, if you will, and it's just supposed to be really good at kind of keeping the layers separated. So if it goes on top of your under eye, for example, it's meant to say, okay, whatever hydration is under here, I don't want the elements of the outside world to affect what's already in our skin. We're giving it good hydration, we're giving it a good, you know, drink of water, if you will, and now we're going to put this dimethicone layer in here to kind of make sure that whatever we put onto our under eye, that's where the hydration stays, that the outside world doesn't kind of suck it out of us. And then, which I think is awesome. And then I think it's interesting to follow that up with a powder that also has dimethicone in it, because yet again, it's that reinforcing idea of, okay, everything we've put onto this, let's keep it all in here. I went in with the Shape Tape, which is a super common, well-known, I almost said foundation, which is a really common concealer, and it has a lot of like hydration and plumpness to it. So again, the dimethicone in this setting powder would go in over top of that and kind of lock in that hydration and kind of keep everything fluid and hydrated looking, and just, it has a lot of very good effects. Dimethicone is one of those things that your skin can really, really love or really, really hate. They also both have silica in them, which is something I just wanted to address real quick. Yes, silica again, it's one of those more controversial things. Some people love it, some people hate it. From my experience, I have had no issues with silica. It's more of just a mineral that's found in most everything. But again, it's just a mineral. A lot of times they add it for a level of opacity. They add it for a level of like bulkness. They add it for a variety of different reasons. But just because you see, oh my God, just because you see silica in your products doesn't make them bad. It doesn't make them dangerous. But you know, the jury on that kind of stuff is still out. Some people believe that, oh my God, you know, prolonged use of whatever. Well, prolonged sun can give you cancer. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like we're in such a touchy society that these two products do share a lot of similar ingredients as far as the, you know, the big hitters. And I wanted to kind of talk on that for just a second. And as far as the ingredients that are in them, they all look relatively useful. They all seem to be exactly what you would want in this kind of product. You know, you would want ingredients and chemicals or whatever. You would want those kinds of things in an under eye cream that are going to lock in hydration, really smooth it out, depuff, and you know, the cucumber, the caffeine. You do want those kinds of things for this application. Now, what I'm struggling with as far as these are concerned is I don't feel like they did much, if anything, to my under eye area. I don't know, maybe it's just me. The only difference that I will honestly say that I see is there's a little dip. You know what, hold on. Bring you guys up close and personal. There is a little dip right in here that I do think looks a little less puffy on both sides. And I feel like that whole area through there looks a little bit more flattering. Now, okay, so hello, let's zoom back out because creepy. But I do feel like overall, I can't say that these are worth the price point just because they are so insanely expensive. And what I struggle with the most is that I still did have like some semi-creasing in my under eye. I still do have like some crepey texture, which again, I've talked about this before. My under eye does look crepey for about an hour to 2 hours after I set my makeup. That is not uncommon at all for me. So in that close-up, you're probably like, girl, your skin looks like you 90. I know, it's just the way that it goes. It's the way that it looks because I do use so many mattifying ingredients and I try to really set down everything. So that's not uncommon at all. So I don't want you to look at it and be like, that looks really bad, because it's just, that's just my face, silly. And then the other thing I did want to mention real quick is that a lot of people are always worried about the powder or whatever they use in this respect flashing back on them. And just as a side note, obviously I haven't taken any flash photography today. I don't have many events, you know, it's not like I'm on the red carpet. But I did look at the ingredients in this and there was no titanium dioxide or any of the oxides in it that typically make a powder flash back. So as far as that goes, I think you'd be okay. I think at the end of the day though, you guys, I can't recommend these products to you just because I feel like the price point doesn't jive with what they do. I think it looks okay, but it's nothing, again, that I would reach for day in and day out. And honestly, it's nothing that I would be like, wow, this was so life-changing that it's worth the extra time, because I don't think it was worth all the extra time. I just, again, that's me personally, and if you've tried it, I would be super curious to know if you liked them and if you were able to use the concealer, because their concealers were pretty dark. So let me know what you think in the comments down below, you guys. Don't forget to hit up the description box. I'm like, what is that place where all my other social media handles are? That's the description box, and that's where you should go to find me on all my glorious other platforms. And oh, just to tell you real quick what else is on my face, because I tend to forget this part. On the eyes, I actually went in with the Tardiest Pro palette. It's so old, you guys. This is one of their older palettes. I worked in these two purple tones right here, and then the black shade on the outer V. And then for all those gorgeous, gorgeous sparkles you are seeing, girl, I went in with Diamond Dust in them Stila Liquid Glitters. Honey, yes, queen. These are amazing. You guys, I picked up a few more of these when I was at Ulta. And by a few, I mean like 6. These are like, I don't often use my points for anything. These are one of the things I will use my points for because I know I love them. They're amazing. And honestly, they last so long and they're so good. Like, I have them literally sprinkled all over my vanity. They're amazing. And I highly recommend them. And they're just such a good, quick, easy way to like, zoop, zhuzh up an eye look and you're done. As far as the rest of my face, we have a little Kat Von D Shade and Light contour palette going on, a little Tarte blush, nothing exciting. And then for highlight, I don't even remember what I put on. done. I'm not gonna lie. You guys, I'm not good at this. On the lips, I am wearing just a liner and gloss. This is the ColourPop Lippy Liner in the shade Chai. And then I put some of the She Better Work lip gloss from MAC in the center just to kind of bring it out a little bit, give me a little pouty pout, you know. And by the way, these are going right back in my pocket because that's where I keep them. I love them that much. You guys, that is it for this video. This has been ridiculously long, but I hope you enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up, comment, all that good stuff down below. You know the drill. And I will talk to you guys all in the next one. Bye. Becca. Girl, you expensive. You not worth it, but you make some good highlights. Yes, queen.